welcome back to Jen Beauty. My name is Jennifer, and here on my channel I like to chat about all things beauty and makeup. So today I have something a little bit different that I wanted to do. I kind of wanted to do an anti-haul of my own collection, which I know sounds weird, but I kind of picked out some palettes that I don't think I'm going to miss. So if I pull them from my collection and kind of like hide them for myself or put them up, will I think about them enough to reach for them? And I don't think I will. So I kind of just wanted to talk about that and just kind of put myself in a mindset of being more mindful of the palettes that I am choosing to bring into my collection and kind of prepare myself for like an end of the year declutter. So if I find myself thinking, man, where is that palette? And I pull it out, then obviously it's something that I may want to keep in my collection, but I'm just kind of curious. So the first one that I have is the Colourpop Ballad Pressed Powder Palette. I do like this color story. I do like this color story, but there's 4 shimmers and 1 matte in this palette. And I always feel like I either need to do like a really quick look or like I need to pull in another palette. These shades are not bad, but they're like a matte with a lot of glitter. The black one, it's not actually like one of the like creamy shimmers, like a satin. I don't know. The formula just isn't my favorite of their shadows. And to have a 5 pan with, you know, 1 or 2 shades that don't really move me, I really would have much rather preferred to have had an actual, like, another matte here and then another actual shimmer here. I just don't find myself reaching into this. For these colors, I find myself reaching more into, if I want a quick, like, smoky, sultry look, I find myself reaching into the Kaleidos Jasmine palette. Like, this just, it's very easy. 3 mattes, 1 shimmer, blend, 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 throw the shimmer on, and you're done. So, anyways, that's enough trash talking that palette. The next palette is kind of like a sister palette to that one. So, it is the Lyric Pressed Powder Palette. And this one is just like the very neutral brown color story to that one. This one I don't really mind that much because there's 2 mattes and there's 2 shimmers, but then they used up a whole pan with glitter. And I don't mind the Colourpop glitter formula, but in a 5 pan palette, it just, not really my jam. The next one that I have is the Colored Rain Vineyard Soiree eyeshadow palette. Okay, so I got this in BoxyCharm and I finally tried it not long ago, and the shadows did not perform quite like I wanted them to. I'll swatch a couple for you. I'm like the worst swatcher ever. So the purple just kind of like blended away whenever I was using it. And then this like bronzy shade didn't really show up that well. This like pink shade is very pretty, but I'll be honest, like I have that in other palettes and I have it in a Super Shock, I'm pretty sure. And the mattes were kind of patchy on me, but it honestly could be because it's kind of older. Like it is one of my older palettes in my collection. So I struggled a lot with that palette and I just don't think I would miss it. The next one that I have is the Wander Beauty Wondrous Rush. This looks so gorgeous in the pan. And every time I use this, I am just so disappointed. The mattes are kind of dry. The shimmers are like lackluster on me. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's my technique. I don't know if it's the palette. Also, this one is about the same age as the Colored Rain one, so I think we're seeing a pattern here on these 2 at least. And these are in no particular order. Like, this is not worst to best. I picked out palettes that I just really think I don't think about. And so I don't think that I would really miss them in my collection. The next one is the Tarte Man-Eater palette. This is the lighter one of the two. And I just was so unimpressed making this palette try to work for me and what I like. I think if you like very simplistic eye looks, then this may be your jam. I like to use like 2, 3, 4 shimmers, like 3 different mattes per eye look. I'm just extra when it comes to blending and using eyeshadow. So this one just didn't do it for me. The next one we have is the Hip Dot C Note palette. While I am wearing blue eyeshadow today, I don't ever think about this palette when I am coming up with like eye looks. Like, I don't ever think, oh, I'd really like a blue, I need to go get my C Note palette. There's like this row and section of like neutrals, and then the rest of it is like blue and turquoise. And I don't really have a use for that in my collection. Like, I have the Take Me Back to Brazil and then the Rio edition one. And those to me have all the blues that I could possibly need. And then I even have other palettes that have blue. Like, I have the Baroque palette, and that's like the deep, sultry, like gray, cool tone blues. So I also don't like these colors on me at all. So, I always want to keep it because it's a beautiful palette, but I just don't, like, this shade is gorgeous. It shattered on me just randomly while I was doing my makeup collection and declutter. Like, this is such a beautiful black-based blue. It's so gorgeous, but I just don't find myself reaching for it. The next one is a Colourpop palette. Actually, the next couple are Colourpop palettes. This one is the Nightmare Before Christmas palette, and I was on the fence about this for a long time because I'm not really a Nightmare Before Christmas fan. Don't come for me. It is what it is. And I really liked the color story. Like, I really do like bright, vibrant neon colors with like this dark, sultry black. This color is pretty gorgeous. Like, I love that neon purple color. But the mattes and this like stupid matte glitter thing, Halloween time, they were so patchy and dry on me. I really struggled to get them to blend and stay in place. I have oily eyelids, so I do use a primer, and then I set that primer down with, like, you know, a neutral shadow, and I just struggled with this one. This one, I feel like I may think about it again around Halloween time, and decide if I want to, which I know, I'm aware that it is Halloween time now for some people, but I'm not one of those people, but I fully respect your love and adoration for Halloween. So I think I'm going to try it 1 or 2 more times if I think about it. So if I think about it and decide that I want it and want to try it again, then I'll pull it out. Then we have the Colourpop Roaring Hearts. This one just like called to me so hardcore when it came out, and I think this was truly a palette that I put on my wish list simply for the hype. But this first shade, Fancy That, is like an absolutely gorgeous duochrome shade. I really do love it. But for someone who doesn't really enjoy like gold shades on their lids, this was really dumb to put on my wish list. I have the Kaleidos Cold Brew palette, and that one is just like the Black Jasmine, where it is like cool tone browns. And I find myself, when I want like a smoky, sultry brown look, leaning more towards that than I ever do this one. This is one I just don't think about. And this is so petty, but I also don't like that this is the only palette that's a different size from all of my other Colourpop palettes. I told you it's petty, but I would never declutter it just for that, but it does get on my nerves when I'm putting everything up there all nice and neat. The next one is the So Very Lovely palette, and this one I was convinced to purchase well after this came out. I thought that the swatches of it looked so pretty, and I watched a couple of different videos with this palette, and I bought into the hype of like how freaking gorgeous all these shimmers are. I mean, they're so pretty. But at the end of the day, I don't find myself wanting this color story very frequently. I don't know what to tell you. It's a lovely palette, but I don't know that I would miss it if it was gone from my collection. The next one that I have is the Colourpop on A Whimsy. So this one I go back and forth about quite a bit because I truly do love the shimmers in here, and the mattes are good quality. I haven't had any issues like with blending or staying power or anything like that. I just don't know if this is like, as a whole, a color story that I'm drawn to. I love this packaging so much. Like they're gorgeous. This one I think I like more than this one, but they're both really beautiful. And I honestly think that this would be one that I would consider pulling out the pans and putting in with my singles collection if I did decide that I just didn't need it in my collection anymore and I didn't miss it. Because I feel like individually I like a lot of these shades, but all together I don't know that this is a color story that I reach for all that much. And then the next Colourpop palette is the Fade Into Hue palette. It's not a bad palette, but there are quite a few pressed glitters. And, you know, when I bought it, I was like, that's cool. If I find myself wanting like a bright, vibrant pressed glitter, then this has what I need. I find myself like, when I want to make like a rainbow type look, this just doesn't quite grab me. And I'm not sure why. I feel like there's a lot of really interesting textures in this palette, but sometimes I feel like there's too many textures for me to figure out what the heck I want to do with this. I know that sounds crazy, but that's just my brain. And then it has some of these mattes that have the shimmers in them, and I hate that formula. I know I'm not the only one that hates it. There are some people that I know love it. There are some people that I think tolerate it, but there's enough mattes with shimmers in here that I think that may be what throws me off. The last Colourpop palette is the Disney Designer Collection. This is the It's a Princess Thing palette. And the packaging is like freaking everything for me. But once you get inside, there's not really a whole lot that I find myself reaching for pretty frequently. I really love the shade Prince Charming. It is really gorgeous. It is a phenomenal inner corner highlight. Again, I see at least 2 of the mattes with shimmers, and they're the darker colors in this palette. And I think at the end of the day, that's what throws me off. And then finally, I have the Queen palette from Eloise. This is an indie brand, and it's out of London. It is a beautiful palette. Like, there are nice, beautiful, vibrant colors, but for some reason I find myself reaching into other palettes over this one. This may be a case where I just need to use it in my Shop My Stash and see how I feel about it. I haven't had any issues with any of the shades I've actually used in here. I did receive this when I was a lot less experienced with eyeshadow. And so I don't feel like I ever truly gave this like the true love that it deserved. I mostly pulled into this for complementary shadows for other looks. It is a great companion palette if you are looking for something with like vibrant colors, but I'm not sure what throws me off about this other than, no, I really don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. So that's it. That is my stack of palettes that I don't think I would miss from my collection if I decluttered them. I'm going to test it out. I'm for sure going to pull I'll show you the ones that I will for sure put away and see if they even cross my mind. That'll be the Man-Eater palette, the Colored Rain, the Wander Beauty, these two Colourpop palettes, the 5 pans, the So Very Lovely, the Roaring Hearts, the C-Note palette. So these for sure I'm going to put away and see if I think about them at all. And then I have 5 palettes that I'm going to pull into my Shop My Stash over the next few weeks or months. And that will be the Nightmare Before Christmas palette from Colourpop. Actually, all of these are Colourpop except for one. The A Whimsy palette. The It's a Princess Thing palette. I did pull this into a Shop My Stash previously, but I do want to try it one more time. The Fade Into Hue. And then the Eloise palette. So those are the 5 that I would like to kind of pull into my Shop My Stash and see if I just don't find myself reaching for them. Think about why. Is it the season? You know, maybe I'm only thinking about Fade Into Hue in the summer and I let it get buried in my collection over the summer, that type of thing. So I just want to be more mindful about what is actually sitting on my shelves and make sure that if I'm not going to use it, that I pass it along while it still has life left in it. I certainly don't want to be wasteful. I know that I have a larger collection and I'm okay with some parts of my collection being larger, but not to the point that I'm just simply not using things at all. That's not okay with me. Like, I don't want to just throw money down the drain and hold on to things because I paid for it, or it was really expensive, or the packaging is pretty. So I'm trying to be better about that. Let me know what you think. Do you have any products in your collection that you think you could declutter and not miss, or that you think you could like hide from yourself and you wouldn't think about them? If so, let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you think of the video, of this video idea. I don't know what's wrong with me. So let me know what you think in the comments, and if you like this video, I hope you'll give it a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more makeup and beauty content from me, hit that subscribe button and I'll have more coming at you. I hope wherever you are, you have a wonderful day. Bye.